What's up, everybody? It's your boy CanDoKen. I'm a little bit behind the 8 ball on this one. I didn't even know that they had announced the banners. I completely forgot that that's something that they do. I'm used to being on the game and seeing them get announced, and that's usually how I determine like what's on the banners. But they actually posted them on Twitter. I think that might be a usual thing. I'm not sure. I don't usually hang out on Twitter too much, but we can see we have Neuvillette and Hu Tao, as we already knew, but they have some seriously good supports on here. We got Xingqiu, Fischl, and Diona. Not so much Diona. Diona is good. She's all right. She's a healer and a shielder, and she's cryo, which this right here, this team is very good. You could run Hu Tao, Xingqiu, Fischl, and Diona and have a pretty solid team, especially if you have Diona constellations. She, I think she can give 200 EM with one of her cons. I think it's C6 maybe, that's really good for like a Hu Tao melt vape team, over vape melt team. I don't know what this would be called, but actually it's a pretty strong team. Xingqiu is amazing with 0 constellations, so you don't have to feel bad if you come out with no cons. Fischl is cracked, and she just got buffed in Fontaine with the new the Golden Troop artifact set. So I mean, just if you're a Hu Tao fan, this right here is pretty decent if you're planning on pulling. But I had a premonition, all right, of the Hydro Archon and what she could possibly do. We could possibly be looking at, because one of my main issues with Hu Tao is there hasn't really been like a team of supports that you can put on Hu Tao that like hyperize her, you know, like we have Hyper Raiden, Kujo Sara, Bennett, Kazuha, but we didn't really have anything like that for Hu Tao. Listen, I had a premonition, I had a dream, and I'm seeing 100% uptime on off-field hydro damage. I'm seeing damage bonuses, like insane damage bonuses. I'm seeing synergy. I'm seeing like HP draining to get Hu Tao into her 50% HP buff mode. I'm seeing it all in Furina, the Hydro Archon. I'm seeing it. So like, I take back what I said in the last video, because like as of then I didn't have this premonition. I couldn't see the future then, and we didn't have any, like, Hu Tao was lacking like hyper options, but now I'm seeing it already. You can run Hu Tao, Furina, Kazuha, and then like honestly the last slot you could either run like an extra hydro for the hydro resonance, get some more HP. Like I'm seeing it now. I'm a believer. We got Hu Tao buffs in the Hydro Archon. I promise you. Like if you want to pull Fu Tao, I'm thinking of Star Rail, Fu Xuan, but if you're thinking of pulling Hu Tao and your only concern was that the damage might not be there, I'm feeling that's gonna change. So you never know when these characters are going to come back around. I mean, they will, but you never know when. It could be a whole year from now. If you have the primos, if you have the money to spend, and you want a very strong team, I can't recommend enough Hu Tao, Furina. Like I can almost guarantee you that duo is going to be insane. All right. If you're concerned with Hu Tao was damaged, worry no more, because I think we got the answer. As for Neuvillette, I'll have to consult the Elder Gods on that one. I haven't put too much thought towards like the possible synergies with like the Hydro Archon, or like who he would even use on a team to like, because it's obvious he's supposed to be like, you know, like a hyper carry character, right? But Bennett, I don't know who else we have, because he doesn't work with charge attacks. He's not doing normal attack, or he doesn't work with moves that proc off normal attacks, I should say. And other than that, I don't know. We don't really have any hyperized like options for him. Furina could possibly do the job though. I'd have to think about it a little more, but definitely, if you want to pull Neuvillette, just be prepared that we may not have like loads of support for him. We've got shielders, but I don't know if we have the reactionary or just like the hyper supports for a character like him yet. But from what I've seen, he hasn't been changed. Still very strong, still very good scaling. And you could run him with these characters, not Xingqiu, because Xingqiu procs off normal attacks, so he won't work with Xingqiu, but he'll work with Fischl, he'll work with Diona. Those are pretty good, and you can pair him with like Zhangling or something. That'll probably work. Bloom, he can work in Bloom teams. Use Nahida or some other off-field Dendro. Switch to him and then make some Bloom cores and do some damage. It'll work. I mean, it's not anything like crazy, like a hyper team or nothing, but you know, it'll definitely clear the Abyss for sure. I think we have some weapons to look at too. I think we already looked at them before, but we could take another look. Yeah, so it's the same. This is the HP scaling sword. The Favonius weapons, everyone knows about those. Those are really good. If your teams are struggling to like burst off cooldown, like Favonius weapons 9 times out of 10 will get the job done, help you out with that, so you can beat the Abyss if that's what your goal is. I believe this is an HP scaling Claymore, but we don't have anyone who wants that over like Favonius stuff, I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. We might, maybe Navia, she might want HP, even though she's a Geo. I feel like she could possibly care about this HP weapon, but honestly, never ever pull for 4 stars on the gacha banner, bro. It's terrible. I've seen people go like 175 pulls without getting the 4-star that they wanted. It's just a trap, bro, because like you start pulling and then like you're like, oh, maybe one more and I'll get it. It's just a trap, bro. Honestly, I know all of you fellow Nilou mains, y'all are crying right now. Me too. But this is just so risky. Like, I mean, I already have a Homa. If you're going for Homa or this weapon, which I don't recommend. Homa's cool, but we don't really know too much about Neuvillette's weapon. I don't know. It's just risky, man. Weapon banner is risky. And this is Fischl's bow, but it's worse than like every other Fischl bow that she's got. It's not worth it. I don't know. You know, if you're gonna do it, you do you. But honestly, with Furina coming out soon, the Hydro Archon, she's a very strong Hydro character, and I would hate for anyone to miss out on being able to pull her. She's gonna slot into so many teams. The damage buffing, the crazy off-field Hydro, the healing, like she's gonna condense so many roles together and just be such a strong character. I would say save the Primos. Even like if you're planning on pulling Neuvillette, I would just say save the Primos and just get the Archon. Like I know a lot of people like who they like their characters, but like, I mean, you can't pull everyone, and sometimes you do have to make sacrifices when it comes to what you're gonna pull, you know, like, and it's almost guaranteed that Furina will slot into more teams, will probably have access to more power, even if it's like initially behind constellations. She'll have her upper limit of like how strong she can get or how useful she can be is definitely, it's just always going to be higher than like a traditional like 5-star character. That's just how the Archons are. They're best at what they do. They have 100% uptime on what they do. They're just the best. That's just how it is. And I would say if you can do it, if you can find the resolve within you, I would say hold off just for the next patch. She's coming in the next patch. She's going to be first half next patch. She's going to be busted. Healing, damage bonuses, Hydro application that's like out of this world Hydro. Like, I promise you it's going to be crazy. Probably like, if I had to guess, it's probably going to be something like summoning like 3 different like mobs that independently have their own ICD and they jointly attack like the targets you're attacking and apply Hydro to them. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I promise you. If you can hold out 100%, I would say that's the move. Save your primos, because that way you can guarantee that you get her, as opposed to whatever you have saved up now. You might be able to get Neuvillette, but if you keep saving it, you can almost guarantee with the events coming up, the battle pass, the welcome, whatever it is you do, the new exploration, you can almost guarantee yourself at least one copy of Furina. Like, that's what I would recommend anyways. I don't want to, you know, be that guy that's like hating on like your main or whatever, but that's what I'm doing. I like Neuvillette. I mean, I like almost every Genshin character, but the way I see things, like, sacrifices have to be made, and I have like 230 wishes saved up right now, and if I just spend it all on Furina, I can probably get C2 if I get a little bit lucky, you know. So that's it for me. I think that's about everything I wanted to talk to you guys about. I wanted to get this out there quick because I didn't even realize this came out, so I got a lot of editing to do. So thank you guys for watching. If you can leave a comment, like, and subscribe, all that good stuff, I appreciate it. I appreciate everything that y'all did on the last video too. Thank you so much, guys. And if anything else happens or something goes down, I'll make another video on that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Deuce.